Welcome to the third episode of my Building Hoth series. Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, AT-ATs, and specifically why I won't be using the UCS one later in this video. But first, I gotta tell you what I did last week on the Twitch stream immediately following the last week's episode, because I've actually filled out a pretty good portion of this section that I currently emptied so that I could show you that I filled it out by doing this. So I essentially mirrored what we have on the other side of the Echo base so that we can have the interior like walls built up for both sides. This one I think I did a little bit of a worse job with, but it still gets the point across when we attach it like so. So I had enough pieces to make like the big ones and the side one here, and so if we attach this properly, you get the idea. Now both sides of the Echo base are kind of built up, but I didn't think I had enough pieces to build both sides of the front wall here. However, I just kind of realized I was looking around, I have a whole cup of parts. I don't know, it's not a lot of the inverted slopes, but I still might have to order more on Bricklink this week. I actually didn't get to do much more on my Twitch stream because it takes a lot longer to build these things than I had thought, but throughout the week I did a couple other things with that with my brother. I am able to get rid of the MIDI scale Millennium Falcon now. Please wait. We have a full-size playset Millennium Falcon. Now, this is the episode 9 Millennium Falcon, and so it is definitely not what I want in the build here. I was able to create a Bricklink wanted list with all of the specific parts that I wanted, and then search all of Bricklink for stores that had all of the parts that I wanted to buy from all at once. I was able to find the perfect Bricklink store, oddly enough located in New York, but I went ahead and placed my order, and hopefully this will arrive for the next episode. Now I had given some thought to doing like exact original trilogy stuff on the interior of the Falcon, but honestly I'm never gonna open the Falcon to show the inside anyway. I just care about what the outside looks like, so that is exactly what we are gonna do. That's what we're gonna do now! I wanted to smash it so bad. Through the first 2 episodes, the most common question I've gotten is which LEGO Star Wars AT-AT am I going to use? And there was a point in my life when I was building a mock like this a few years ago that I wanted to just use the classic Snowspeeder, the 2003 AT-AT, and the 2004 Millennium Falcon, and just use a bunch of like classic vehicles and yellow skin tone minifigures, and I thought it would be amazing to do kind of a nostalgia-driven mock like that. However, I then built the 2003 AT-AT and realized it kind of sucks, so we won't be using that. Now, unfortunately, the habitat for my AT-ATs has kind of been destroyed, so we are actually going to need to clean it off really quick so that I can show you some different AT-ATs in the space so you get an idea of where I'm coming from as to which one I'm going to use. So it helps to have a much cleaner space. I'll tell you what, the base isn't particularly clean right now, but the battlefield is practically empty. The Wampa Cave area, it's all really nice and empty right now. So we're gonna bring in a couple more AT-ATs to give you an idea of what I'm feeling when it comes to walkers in this build. First option is the 2014 AT-AT playset. It's not prohibitively expensive to get more of them in good condition. However, I feel like it's just a little too small at the end of the day. It just looks a little awkward to me. It would fit nicely in the mock though. However, if I was gonna go with this one, I'd really probably just go with the 2010 one because I have more nostalgia for that model, so I would just use it instead. The other playset option I'm highly considering here is the 2020 playset. I can't remember which, but in my review or comparison of AT-ATs at the time, in 2020 when this came out, I said this was the best AT-AT LEGO had ever made, and I really did believe that. It had a lot of functions and features that some of the other walkers didn't have, and it was incredibly accurate comparatively. It also has a good length. You can see the length compared to the 2014 model. It's just quite a bit longer, and so I think that helps make the model look a bit more imposing for the build, but LEGO did something in the last year or so that knocked this AT-AT out of the water. They made a big honkin' UCS model, and it immediately became kind of a dream of mine that it would be super dope to make a Hoth build that could scale with these, because these are about minifigure scale. So in the like scale of LEGO Star Wars, these would make a lot of sense to use if you could build something big enough. However, This is really big. I don't think people understand how much bigger this is than the playsets without seeing them side by side. It's kind of ridiculous looking in a lot of ways. More importantly though, within the scale of what I'm building, it also doesn't work. It's about a third of the length of the entire build. So to have a build that could actually make use of the UCS AT-AT and make it make sense, I mean, we're talking a build that's probably the entire size of this room, not just the size of 4 tables put together. But just for fun, I'll show you what it would look like if this was the main AT-AT by clearing everything else off. It's big, it's ridiculous, and you can see like if the door of the Hoth Echo base is here, I mean this is like 1.5 feet away. There's just no space. It's not big enough of a mock to be able to make that work. As cool as that looks, it would just look ridiculous because you have the very front of the base like right here, and so at its highest, this would be taller than the base would be. The base is probably gonna be about yay high. At least if we're using the play set, the base is higher than the walker and it won't look ridiculous within the scale of what I'm building. So that's the long way of saying no UCS AT-AT, because as cool as it is, it's just too dang big for what I'm building, and so I'm gonna put it back in my living room on display where it belongs. Now we're gonna try to recreate this build so that we can have all 8 of the main pillars done for the inside of the Echo base. I already have like the front section done here or whatever, so this should be pretty doable. It just comes down to whether or not I have enough of the pieces laying around, which I think I ordered enough 3 years ago to make all of them. I did the calculations, but I may have also like misplaced pieces over time, so we're gonna try. So I set up a bunch of plates on the other side along with the very front bottom piece that goes at the bottom of the slope thing that starts going up. I don't know how to describe it properly. And then I found a lot of the inverted slopes over there. Corey, what are you working on?
The walkway.
Oh, so we can add like a physical walkway. Interesting. Cool, good idea. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna start building this up next though, so that we actually can have the full base bottom built. Like I said, I really want to have that done now. Look for more of these slope pieces anywhere. I'm gonna probably need more. Oh, beautiful. Look what Corey just found. The mother load. We won't run out today. Yes. That means we'll be able to complete this. I was worried I was gonna have to order more. I knew I ordered the right number. Yes! So Corey and I built up this final hangar wall, and it actually came out pretty good. However, I did realize something in the process, that I would actually need some sort of support for the plates that are gonna go on top. So I started to build that up, and so I wanna kind of create these as their own contained thing. So I'm actually gonna have to change the design on the other 3 that I've already built. So I changed the design a slight bit for the supports so that they're even stronger. So they're basically double wide bricks now instead of the, what was I using? The single wide ones. They felt pretty loose on there. So using something that just is a bit stronger overall, I think is a better idea. And so I think I'm gonna have to copy this design essentially. Like I have the general design down on the 4 of them, but as far as like the strength for placing the plates on top, and then of course when we're building more of the base, like that's going to start like around here with some of the rock work and stuff and work its way up and over, we're going to need something that can actually hold things. So yeah, these like designs were pretty empty and didn't really have a lot of thought into them as far as like how they were actually going to hold anything up, because this is just going to fall over if you try to put anything too heavy on it. This should be a much better solution for that. So we're going to do this on all 4 of them. So I basically have the completed model for one of them, minus some of the topping pieces for the edge there, and then the plates that are going to go on the very top. And then Corey built 9 more of the exact same design so that we can attach it to the other ones that don't have that same structural support. And then we'll be done with that. Now I am glad I'm double checking my work here as I'm like changing up this design, because what I actually did on these was make them too short. So I don't know if I can just attach it there. Basically, this won't attach there properly because this whole thing is actually supposed to be built up 1 plate above the normal plate level. You'll see it here on every other one. I guess I just didn't do it on this one. So now I know I need to do it and it will be done. I ended up hopping on Amazon and ordering 2 more of these 2020 AT-ATs, and when I get them in later this week, I'm going to live build them both on twitch.tv/MandRproductions. I think next week I'd also like to start the rock face/snow face of the front of the Echo base. I think that's an important part to start building because I need to get something going here where the door is also going to be in between. I actually need to work on that really badly next week. But this is my progress through 3 episodes. I'm making progress every week, so I'm personally pretty happy with it, even though it might might not be as much work as I might want done. I'm also going to have to make a Lego store trip in the next episode because I need a lot more white plates. I kind of ran out, even though I thought I had bought a lot over the last couple years. I don't have as many as I thought I did, so we're going to need to go get more of those too, so we'll have a good Lego store trip next week. See you then.